We're live.
Hello.
Yeah, there we go.
You're now watching two old farts making noises.
And we are live. And there you go. Look at
All
that.
right.
Now the
Hello,
whole world
guys.
is watching. I just sent you the link so you can give it to all the people that want to see us.
All right. So just give me a moment.
Yeah, no problem. No one's watching that show but us, so it's all good. So
Not even
yeah,
we.
we all our fans. They don't even know that we're on yet, so it's perfect. So we'll make sure we share it, and then everybody will be like, "Hey, there's some guys that are doing a live thing right now." So, and then they'll come on the show. It'll be
So
very
tell me,
cool.
how did you spend your last 2 weeks? Everything
What
is
did I
good?
do? Everything was good. I was very nice. It was did a lot of I did just work, just stuff. And then we're growing the channel. We're thinking about doing Roku or whatever it's called. Um, so
What's
we
that?
may Roku is like HBO or Cinemax or one of those. So basically, we're looking to put our YouTube channel with all our programming on Roku.
Okay.
Yeah, so that should be, we think that'll be interesting. We're not sure yet. So we're working through the logistics of what that's going to look like and whatnot. So we'll see. So that'll be kind of fun. So that if we're going to do that, that'll happen in January. So
Okay.
we figure that'll be, and that means
Sounds
your
nice.
show will be on, your show will be there too. So the live show will be on Roku as well.
So we're upgrading
Well, we're
somehow.
not upgrading. We're not leaving. We're not going to leave YouTube. We're just going to do.
Yeah, of course.
Um, we're just going to do some interesting things. We thought because we think that there may be a fan base out there that doesn't want to go to YouTube, and they may want to see us. So we figured, why not? So we're going to do that. I think for fun. So we'll see, and we'll see what happens. The worst case scenario is nothing happens. The best case scenario is everybody loves us, and we have a whole new following on Roku. And that's how
Exactly.
we're looking at it. Nothing more, nothing less. So we're very excited about that. So we'll see what happens, and you know, we like the fact that we have all these great shows. We've got like 25 new shows right now, so it's a whole thing. So you can't really beat that, so to speak, with a stick.
Okay.
So whenever you're done posting and telling all your fans that you are live, we will
Well,
see
okay,
what's
just
going on.
just just one
Mhm.
last post. It's
Yeah, that's okay. Like I said, it's just me and you right now. So most of the people, a big percentage of the people watch the show after live because we really never know when we're going to go live. So, we don't really promote it. And then our true fans will find us. And what's funny is after we do the live show, I'll go and check the live stream on our YouTube channel and it'll be like 50, 60 people watched it live. And then when we rebroadcast it, you'll get a couple thousand. So because then people are like, oh, I can rebroadcast.
yeah,
So
it's always like that, I think.
I think so. And I'm okay. We're okay
Okay,
with that.
I'm done, so we
You're
can go.
done?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, there you go. So how's everything with you? What did you do for the last 2 weeks?
Oh, I was on holidays.
I know.
I Yeah, yeah, I was on holidays. I went. You know that most of my life I've been living in Athens,
Yes.
but now I went. I lived there for 30 years, and now
Oh,
I don't live there anymore for like 11 years. And now I
okay.
went as a tourist. To
Okay.
the.
How was that?
It was very nice because I was with two families, later three.
Okay.
But in Athens, I was with two Polish families.
Okay.
They are my friends from Poland.
Okay.
And I was a tourist. We were going around because the city has changed. Those
Right.
11 years had a very big impact in many ways.
Right.
Greece had economical problems, but later it somehow balanced everything. So the city is growing.
Right.
There are many changes. I don't think I can come back to the city. I mean, the city in general. Many
Right.
people. I don't know. It's kind of stressing me out.
Well, I was born and raised in New York, right? City. So when I left New York City and I went to like Palm Beach or I went out. Even LA wasn't like a real city to me. I was like, this is a city. It's like, this whole city fits in my apartment building. So, so it's not that bad. I think if you go to a city. Now, do I want to go back and live in New York City? Probably not. I kind of
Yeah.
like my space. You know what I mean? So whether you live in a condo or a house, I still like my space that I walk outside and I see maybe some trees, a mountain, whatever. So yeah, so I can see where city living would stress people out.
Yeah, and I think something. I'm an artist. So I'm working all the time, and I'm observing. So
Right.
the scenery doesn't really matter to me because we can take inspiration from everything.
That's true.
But you choose, your inspiration also in a way. You guide it in a way. And
Right.
my more metaphysical, because humans for me is just a slight moment in time, very slight.
Right.
It's like you slice the time that is
Right.
passing. Those are humans, especially humans that we are experiencing right now. It's just because the time is running faster now.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is changing, design is changing, the behavior is changing,
Yeah.
politics changing, everything is changing in
When
every
it's
way.
amazing, when we were kids, time took forever, right? You'd be at school or whatever, and all it was like, this day will never end. And then when you get to whatever age, whether it's 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 90, 100, pick your age, all of a sudden you wake up in the morning and before you know it, it's the end of the day. Like time just goes that quickly. And so David always jokes
Yeah.
that like he's at the end. And I'm like, you relax, you're 68 years old, you're not at the end yet. So my analogy is because I like golf, is I just happen to be on the back nine. So whether I'm at hole 10 or hole 18, I don't know. I'm just on the back nine. And I enjoy that. It's like fun. But when I reflect, I'm like, it's been good. Like it's like I'm okay. Like I had a good life. So now I'm just gonna make the next 40 years better.
Or maybe more.
Maybe more. I know with all the new technology coming out, I could live to
Yeah,
another
yeah.
couple hundred years.
Yeah, yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
It'll be very fast. The
Yeah.
changes will be very fast.
Well, that's what's happening
And
now. I mean,
and look now, because we always talk about kind of social and politics about the AI and the changes,
right,
and imagine a world that is changing too fast, that fast that never happened before.
right,
How because somebody's trying to change because somebody's ahead in info before
right.
the others. Like we are mediocre people, we don't know much really what's going on, but there are
Yeah.
people who know some advances before us, and they know the impact that it will create, and they have you know it's a responsibility also in a way, not to
Hmm.
create chaos, because if they create chaos, yes, it will
Yeah.
affect them too, their position.
Well, they don't want to create chaos because they're trying to take over the world, so to speak, right? So if you create chaos, you can't take over the world. But then I guess with chaos, like you can take over the world because you can be the savior. So I think it depends on how
Everything's
they
fluid
approach
now.
it.
I think that
Yeah.
everything is fluid now. I mean, okay, there are some things that people who not predict, they design the world. There are people who
Right.
design the world, and there is a need for it.
Right.
We cannot go just like that, randomly. We have a need. We have 8 billion people.
Yeah.
It's too many to feed. Too many.
Well,
We feed them in a way. In
we're
generally we feed it. We are better than years before, which were
we are
less
because
people.
where we are with the technology, we're better.
Yeah.
But there's a breaking point at some point where there's 8 billion of us, and the Earth is only going to be able to sustain so much. At some point, the tipping point's just got to snap. So,
I don't
um,
think it's a problem of people, number of people. This earth can give a home to more
right.
than 8 people, but the system needs to be corrected. And this is what is
That's
happening, because it's happening all the time and
right.
always. Nobody knows and nobody can really predict. Okay, there are people who are designing the future, but it doesn't happen as they design it.
Right. That's very true. So
Yeah.
it's interesting because when you look at what's going on with like artificial intelligence and robotics and all of the metaverses and whatnot. It's like we're really becoming like Star Trek at some point, right? You're going to walk into your little four
Becoming
by
what?
four room, like
Star
Star
Trek?
Trek, Star Trek,
What's that?
Like Star Wars, space
Ah, okay,
movie.
the film, you
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, yeah. So you're going to walk
Okay.
into your little, 10 by 10 room and put your headset on and go skiing. I mean, it's getting to that point. So it'll be interesting, but hopefully they'll figure out how to cure the diseases and they'll figure out how
Oh,
to,
they will, but new
whatever.
problems will arise. It's always
Well,
like that. There has to be a valid,
right. Well, right now, global warming,
way.
I guess, is the big problem. I would
Very
think.
big problem. Very big
Yeah.
problem. And this is what I want to talk also about, because those 2
Sure.
weeks here in Greece was hell.
Oh,
From,
the heat.
with the heat and with
Right.
fire, wildfires.
Right.
My father's places where he was born was in the north of Greece, in the place
Okay.
called Alexandroupolis. And those places, there was a very big, beautiful forest there. And it was
Right.
an ancient forest, and the many, rare species of animals like birds, like many birds. They were stationing there, and it's
Right.
all burned. It's
Oh,
all
wow.
burned. Yeah, in 2 weeks, it's still burning there. It's a very rare. It's the biggest fire, I think, in European Union since the last 20 years, something. And
Wow.
it's really, really, really bad. And we had a lot of those. I mean, wildfires this year,
Right.
and it's going. Everything is going to burn. Unfortunately, not this year. Next year,
Right.
in 3 years, everything is going to burn.
Yeah. But
This is
that
what I
with
see. And if we don't
well,
do
look at
something
Maui.
really, really,
Maui's the same thing. Maui is burning. So I mean, like everything is, and the fires are getting worse. And now there's a hurricane in the
yeah,
Gulf over here in the
yeah,
States, and it's like a hurricane class 4. And so they're like, okay, this will be interesting. So yeah, so everything seems to be getting progressively worse because of
yeah.
global warming or change or climate change or whatever they want to
Global
call it this
warming,
week.
a lot of things, because people put the fires.
Right.
People put the fires, and sometimes there were a lot of theories why they are happening. Because in one day there might be like 200. Is it all
Right.
chance? No. And there were also speculations about maybe some other forces from outside Greece
Okay.
to unstabilized Greece in a way, and there might be some truth into that, because the region, if you see it, it's on the borders with Turkey, and it's very strategic for
Right.
NATO also, because there's a big a port there of
Okay.
NATO, and the vehicles and the machinery that are coming through there, going up to Bulgaria and Romania, and then to Ukraine. So you
Okay.
see, it's a spot
So there's a conspiracy
for.
theory. I love it. That's
Yeah, yeah. I know.
so.
Well,
But
you
no.
know something.
Okay.
I listen to the conspiracy theories, but some are totally stupid. Okay, so I don't
Right.
follow. But some, they have, this could work. There is
Yeah.
there is a reason for those guys to do it
Right.
and stabilize. But it's not going to happen. We just lost something beautiful to our inhabitants as humans. We
Right.
lost a very beautiful forest, and ancient. And as humans, because we fanatize too much with our countries, with our legacy, and it's all stories.
Right.
We've made up. Those are made up stories. We believe into. I'm sorry to tell. We believe into lies, and we
Right.
fanatically believe and give our life and give others' life into those lies. That's what we
Right.
do. Either we call them uh, politics or religions or whatever. That's what we do. This is one of our biggest mistake. We should fanatize with humanity, with like emotions, like protecting people who need it.
Mhm.
We should, I don't know, give to children more room to think and to express themselves as humans. As we should
But when
create
we were
better
but,
people.
but when we were kids, we had that. Nowadays, the kids don't have the opportunity because their helicopter parents are so worried about, oh my God, what's going to happen? Like I can't have little Johnny and Mary go out. Like they don't go out and play. They don't do anything. They sit on the internet all day, or they whatever.
Yeah,
So it's a much different thing. They don't get to grow. I don't think like we did when we were kids. We were like came
but
home, did your homework, and went out and grow and did your
Stephen,
thing.
it's part of the evolution.
Right.
What is happening should happen. This is what I'm saying, actually.
I don't know about
I'm
that. Like I like it the simpler time to an extent for a kid not to be overwhelmed with well, they shouldn't have iPhones in my opinion until they're like 18. But anyway, their cellular phones, their laptops, their iPads, all this stuff. I think we overwhelm them. I see parents babysitting at restaurants with an iPad with their like infant, like here, play with this. And I'm like, so there's not even parenting. So if that's evolution, that's I think bad. I would rather go back to the old days where the parents were somewhat involved. And then, they develop a young person that becomes something other than like a drone. You know what I mean?
So
So
I know what you mean, and you are
right,
posing something very valid. The way that we raise our children, that we actually give them education, and this is really
right,
valid because those are the next inhabitants of the earth, and they will be in control of the earth, having such a great tools that we still don't have. Although we already have great tools, but they
right,
will have stronger and stronger tools. So they have
right,
to choose wisely. So they need education. You are right.
right.
They cannot be all the time behind a screen, and because this is, you get a lot of information from the internet, but you, as a human, you need other things as well. Like you need
Right.
love, you need feelings, you need to
Yep.
spend time with other people, you need to share time with other people,
Yeah.
with one person, with two persons, with it depends. But we need to share time. This is true. So you have also a valid point here too.
Right. But the problem is parents don't do that, right? The parents are just sort of like, oh, okay, here's my kid, here's a laptop, here's this, here's that, go. And when we were kids, your parents were somewhat involved and they did things with you. And I'm sure there's parents that are, but for the most part, parents are sort of like, here's your phone, go play Angry Birds. And I'm like, that's not parenting. You're not growing and getting a substantial human being out of that. So, and then they don't teach the kids like reading is good. They read all the stuff or they watch TikTok, whatever. Then we've talked about this before. TikTok in China, they say be a doctor, be a lawyer, be this. TikTok in America and in Europe is, girls dancing, this one dancing, someone doing the same with Instagram, right? So I'm fascinated that certain countries are like instilling national pride, how to be a better person, how to excel. And then other countries are sort of like, nah, it's okay. Just, jump off a building and make a TikTok video and you'll be famous. So it's a much different mentality. So that's what I'm saying. So to me, it's sort of like, I know it's evolution, but I don't know if we're evolving for the better or for the worse. So it's very interesting to see how it's going to work.
There is I don't know if there is better or worse, in
Right.
a literal speaking way. Things are
Yeah.
evolving. They might go somewhere to a dead point and we might kill ourselves. This is a possibility.
Yeah. We'll
So
implode.
it's not going the right direction if it goes there.
Right.
I
But
mean, I mean, okay, for the planet and for nature, who fucks? Could give you the fuck.
yeah.
Just humans. I'll make
Right.
another ones and another ones and then one until something comes up. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know how she thinks. I think nature gives possibilities, and in a way, some things are you cannot avoid them. Like
Right.
we are not totally free. We are
Right.
free in some kind of degree of, but in this freedom, we can choose. We can do some right. We can go through some right direction because we've done it before. We can look at our history and see when we were prosperous and feeling better. And it was a time when there was no wars, for example, right?
But there's
That we
always been a
lived.
war. But there's always been a. That's what's funny. There's always been a
Not
war
not
somewhere.
always, not always. I don't
Oh,
think so. Not
now,
always.
if you go back and look at history, um, pretty much there's always been a skirmish somewhere. Like you know what I mean? It's like it didn't have to be a world war, and it didn't have to be like taking over a continent. But there's always been a skirmish. Somebody's always been at war with somebody.
A fight,
It seems. Yeah.
a clash between
Right.
civilizations, sometimes between
Yep.
other things. Yeah, they've always been, and it looks as in nature those things happen.
Right.
The bloodbath and everything that we see in life. The suffering that we see in life, because
Mm,
what we see in life mostly is suffering.
right.
And the question that arises is, okay, suffering for what? And
Right.
you can answer, only you or only me, from our own point of view we can answer, does the suffering is valid? I mean, is life has moments or parts that are really really worth living? And I think
Mm.
yes, I
Well, of
really believe in
course.
life. We
Right.
have gone so far, we have experienced so, and you can avoid a lot of suffering in your life by judging. It is the education that you were saying. If you're educated in a
Hmm.
way that you always make mistakes, but you can avoid many in your life
Right.
and in your relationships, in your economical or your professional life, friendship part, also every side. You can educate yourself. You can mature in a way.
Well, we have to learn. You learn from your mistakes and you learn from history, and that's why I get it. I
You
laugh when
learn
people say,
only during sad times, mistakes. I was
right,
thinking about it when I was a child. Even when
right,
you're happy, you just enjoy life, which we need.
yep,
We need those moments. We live for those moments to enjoy life. I don't exclude enjoying life. No, I'm a hedonist.
right,
I love to enjoy life all the time. I try to enjoy life even in my sadness, because
right,
I know I'm learning. As you said, we're learning at that moment.
hmm,
And those learnings are really deep. You can feel that when something bad is happening in your life, like the loss of somebody that you love, there are things that are inside you are touched deeper than normally.
right.
So that means that you're learning something.
And that's the best part, and that's what I don't think people realize that they're learning. Like I know whether good, bad, or indifferent, you're always learning, and you can learn from history too. So when people go, history doesn't repeat itself, which I beg to differ, I think it does, but they don't learn from it. They're like, we're just going to make the same mistakes over and over again. At some
Well,
point, the
Stephen,
light bulb goes off.
yeah, but life is also merciless, I would say.
That's true.
You don't
Yeah,
learn? I'm sorry. I try to
yeah,
tell you something. You don't
yep,
follow? And you know something? I'm coming to the conclusion that this life is not about um, quantity, it's about quality only, and you cannot
yeah,
buy quality. You think
right.
that you can buy quality, by having a million parties, and I've been partying those. I'm tired. You can see that I'm tired in a way.
Yes,
I've been partying and drinking a lot and having good
right,
time and everything. Well, I have learned something during those times too, also, because I'm also an artist. I observe every time.
right,
For me, everything is kind of a game, but not a game that I make up of. It's a game that like life is offering to me,
right.
and I think it's for everybody. I think it's valid for everybody.
I
I
agree.
cannot judge. I can only judge from myself only. We only speak ourselves.
Right,
Nothing less, nothing more. But yeah, I see a lot of commonalities with people, and this is why I'm trying to tell them that we need more quality in our lives, and
right,
quality is gained only with work, either internal, I mean, either mental, or
mhm,
also work, that you do, that you spend, but also mental, because everything is mental. So you always process it with your mind. You always
right,
judge your actions. You always plan your actions. So it's all mental anyway.
right. No,
It's
and
driven by
people,
mentality.
yep. And but that goes back to learning, being a good, like being brought up properly, I guess, as well. And you're right. Life is
This is
all
the
about,
base.
this is the base, this is your
You
foundation,
need
so
the
you can have good
you
life.
need good foundations to
Yeah,
function as a good human. We need it.
yeah. And as you say, you need
Education
good is important. But it's like
very
that's why you
much.
have to surround yourself, even whether you're a child or an adult, with quality people. Like, people that are negative and people that are whatever, we like tend to get rid of them. But people that are like very positive and like, let's go do it. And even if the whole world is coming apart, they're still like, hey, we can still go do something. So to me, that's very important that you always push forward. So, and I
The
think a
world
lot of
is
people
in
miss that.
danger anytime. It's
No,
not
that's
only
true.
humans that can kill the world or something. No, we cannot kill the world. We can only kill ourselves and other
Right,
living at the moment. They
right.
will be reborn in 1,000 years.
But
2000 is
if you
nothing
if you go back
in
to
the scale.
if you go back to histories, right? And then
Yeah.
some people are saying that we are just an iteration of something from a million years ago. I find it hard to believe that this we're it. I have a feeling that there's been many civilizations before us, and that just over millions of years have gotten destroyed, and then there's a rebirth, and they get destroyed, and there's a rebirth. So to me, I think we're just one of the iterations of it. And then now with all the new theories about, are we in the matrix? Are we in a simulation? Is this a computer game? I mean, like, there's all these new things scientists are saying because they saw something in the Hubble telescope. So now they're all like, oh my God, are we even real? And I'm like, well, you're real for whatever you are today. So, it's one of those things. So I think, to your point, I think quality much better than quantity.
No, it's a qualitative world.
Yeah.
It's experiential world. We're
Yes.
living experiential. They're only experiences that we all have.
Yeah.
That's all there is.
It's
Either of pain, either of love, either of cold, either of hot, either of red, either of smell of the rose,
right.
any kind of those stuff, any kind. Either you're on a very expensive yacht that I've been last week, or
Mhm.
either or you're by the beach or on the I don't matter anywhere. There's so much beauty. There's so much complexity in this world. It's beyond any kind of comprehension of our state of mind. It's our
Right.
iteration, as you said. Exactly, that's what it is. We are just a point in the
Yep.
history of the universe, actually. And I don't know if there were other civilizations here. Probably there were, because there was a civilization of dinosaurs.
Mhm.
They should have some kind of civilization. I mean, they must have contacted each
But
other somehow.
I think before that,
Maybe
what we're
before, maybe
I think
before.
what they're finding out is that we aren't as technologically advanced and as whatever as people think. I think there was many civilizations before this,
So
but
the question arises: why
yeah,
those civilizations get smashed out? Why
I
did they
think
disappear?
some natural disasters, some I think war. I think some of
Or
them probably got smart enough where they're like, hey, we can leave this planet. Right. Think about if the world is really, say, 14 or 13 billion years old, our time, right? Not the time of the universe, because the universe, technically, there is no time. We made up time to make man feel better. So if there's 14 billion years, let's just say 10 billion years ago, a civilization more advanced than us says, oh, this is cool. And they have people that go and leave and do whatever. And then there's a war, they die off, and a couple people survive, over hundreds of thousands of years until you build up all of this again. Everything kind of like just implodes back into the earth, right? So that's what I'm saying. Archaeologists are always finding these new things, and then they redate things, and they're like, oh, wait a minute, the pyramids are older than we thought. This is older than we thought. There's a super highway through the Amazon jungle that we never knew about. I mean, they look at this and it's like, so
really?
I think they're rewriting history, but because they've talked the line of BS for so long, I think it's going to take a archaeologist or a scientist with real balls to come out and say, listen, we were wrong because we were infants when we started this. And now we're in middle school and we're learning 500 years from now that if we came back, there's history will be like how it all began will be totally different, because I think they're going to find things and be like, oh, look at this and look at that. And, I think it'll be much different. And I think to make the humans of today feel comfortable, we only go back, listen, we're only 10,000 years old. And I think that's a crock. I think we're millions and millions and maybe even billions of years old. And I think that archaeologists and scientists they don't think the humans can handle it. It's kind of like we always talk about UFOs, right? Now the governments are like, oh, there's UFOs and there's, okay, because all of a sudden they think we can handle it. I think there's a progression, but I also think people don't care. Even if you come up, I read like archaeologist magazines and whatever, and they'll say we made this discovery, and nobody cares. They literally could say they discovered, a spaceship that was built here on Earth that's 7 million years old, and people are like, oh, that's nice. Did you see my TikTok post? And so people don't care anymore, and so to me
Yeah.
that's a sad thing. So I don't. I think scientists are going to rewrite things, and historians will rewrite things to the truth, but I don't think the public at large cares. When they make a big announcement, nobody talks about it. Nobody cares. I mean, we do, of course, on our shows, but really that's it. You'll see something on a YouTube, you'll see something on a TikTok or an Instagram for a second, but you don't see like CNN or BBC or even 60 Minutes going, wow, that's earth shattering. We need to go in there and really tear it apart and delve into. They don't do that anymore. Everything is the quick, what can we feed you in 30 seconds, because your attention span is that of a gnat, and you're idiots, and that's what they give them, and a full stop. Right, where some of our shows like this and a few of the others, they're more intellectual. Like, you actually have to think, you have to have an opinion, so it's one of those. So I truly believe 500 years from now, we would be shocked on what they find. So what do I know? So
500 years from now.
yeah, we won't be here, but you never know. We find new things every day, though, that are fascinating. Like archaeologists find things and
Yeah.
scientists are making discoveries,
Yeah, but
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 nobody
Stephen,
cares.
you're describing a situation. Well, this is the situation that we're living in.
Right,
It's You have to judge it outside of any kind of sentiments.
right,
If you want to judge it, if you want to describe it and categorize it and try to analyze it, and try to realize it, how it works.
right. But I think that's
You
part of
you
the
have
cool
lived
thing.
you have lived you and me, we have lived in a very different times of
Yes. We've seen a
humanity.
lot of changes over the years.
We are actually the generation of changes. We have come from
Yeah.
analog world into digital world, but you know, digital world, the difference between analog world and digital world is actually the data,
Right.
the amount of data. I mean, the analog world is too much data. You know, it's
Right.
everything actually. The analog world, everything that comes that I can
Right.
perceive, any kind of wave, any kind of light, which is also wave,
Right.
that comes to me and gives me a sign or something. That's too much.
Mhm.
So you have to filter anyway. The digital does it, you know, for you. It cuts off all those that you will not probably see because you don't have the uh, ability to see.
Right.
It gives you, but it's smaller file, so you can
Right.
have more. You know.
Yeah.
What this is also the digital world that we're living. Stephen, we are in a totally different world that we were born. Total
Oh,
different
I
world
know.
right now, and we
Yeah.
will die in a very, very different world from
Yes.
now.
Oh, yeah. Every year, I'm fascinated with all the new technology and
It's
everything
yeah,
that
I'm
comes out.
fascinated too. I'm fascinated too
Yeah.
because, and this is the only thing that you actually the only no, you can do a lot of things, but it's one of the parts of the things that you can do that you to observe
Right.
and be astonished in a way of the progress of the new things that come up. Okay, some are BS, some are
Right.
interesting, some are so many possibilities. You cannot be bored
Right.
anymore. You don't have any excuse to be bored
That is
because you
true.
live on the net, on the internet. But this is the next, something, the metamorphosis, or the goal, which this is the road that we're going. We're going from human
Hmm.
uh, roots, which are organic,
Right.
and we're trying to mix organic with mechanical now. So
Hmm.
this is where we are going. Also, the kids looking on the telephone and everything like that. It's part of this.
Yep.
We need to be more and more this part of evolution now,
And
and
now they
this
want
will
to put.
give you more power over processing, of course,
Mhm.
because you will get digital, and of course longevity, because
Yeah.
everything will be controlled anyway. All the needed parts of your body, of biological body, will be
Will be
separated from
3D. Will be
mechanical.
3D print. Will be 3D printed for you
Well, okay, I don't
as they
know.
break.
I don't know about the brain, for
Right.
example, or other things, but I know that you can send me a lot of impulses, or
Hmm.
waves to my brain, and I can feel some kind of pain somewhere where there is no.
Right.
So you can hack me. You can hack the brain somewhere. If
But
they
Elon
hack
Musk
the
wants to do
brain,
the chip, right? So you put a chip in the brain that goes to your digital, where you'll be able to
yeah,
process
hacking the brain.
information,
That's
hacking the
hacking the
brain.
brain. This is one of the future part of the world. The future, we're
Right.
talking very very, but I don't know how far it is. I don't know how
I
far
think
it is.
it's.
We
I
are
think it's.
we're
I think
already
it's
preparing for it.
right. I think it's coming sooner than we think.
Probably,
I'm
probably.
not. I'm not a big proponent of getting a chip in my brain. I like to
Well,
think and read all about. I want. I'd rather
well,
think and read on my
if
own. You
you
know.
if you if you would see the experiences, you would do it. You
Maybe,
would
but
do it.
there's
Oh, you
something
would do
about.
it. You
I
would
have
do it.
AI. If I want to know something, I just here's what I really want. I don't want a chip in my brain. What I
You will
want
have
is
it real
how.
time. You will have it
I
real
understand
time.
that, but I want how from 2001, so I can say how go do this or whatever I call my AI and say, please go do this for me, and how it comes back. If I have it in my brain, in theory, then my brain never shuts off, right? And I never sleep. I want to have downtime where I'm just like I don't want to be bothered. Like when we do snobs and knobs, right? I have a scotch and cigar. It's 7 o'clock in the morning because we have to do the show early. But that's my 90-minute holiday. And when I have a scotch and cigar over the weekends and sit outside and read a book or just sit there and do nothing, that's my 90-minute holiday. I like my 90-minute holidays. If I have a chip in my brain that's constantly going to be like, oh, boom, 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 I don't really get I don't get a holiday, right? It's like I don't get time off. I'm 24/7, so I am now no better
No,
or
no,
no worse
no,
than my
Stephen.
laptop.
It's not going to be like that because
Okay,
it's not going to be like that. It's going to be,
okay,
I want to have this holiday. as you
Right, right.
imagine it. You'll put them out and have the most extraordinary
Oh, it's going to put the holiday in my mind. No, I want to go on a real
everything.
holiday where I
But
actually
you're
go and
going to
physically
feel it.
do
y-
things.
Look, because it's about feelings, how you
Right, right,
perceive it, and everything.
right.
When it'll be hacking your nervous system,
Oh,
it,
good.
it can yeah, it can bring any kind of imaginative or no imaginative, combinations of what your body would perceive. And
Right,
I
right.
mean, in any part of your body,
Right.
so
I can.
and
I know the first industry is going to be
in,
using this. So,
in a
right.
degree that you cannot imagine, because you and your I mean, occasion, or me or my body,
Hmm.
it's not the limit. We have the limit of the human body in general.
Right.
And then we can amplify it also.
Yeah, but
So
that's gonna. I
it's about the human, the brain.
Yeah.
It's about the brain, because it's always about the brain. I'm telling
Right.
this, it's about the
No, no,
mental
I
thing.
agree with you. I have to give thought if I really want a chip then in my mind that gives me the ultimate experiences and the ultimate this. I like in this body, in my little human body that I have,
You
whether I'm
have a chip
playing a game,
already. You have
I
a chip
right,
already.
but whether I'm playing a game somewhere else and I'm just happening to control this avatar, I want this avatar then to enjoy, really enjoy, not like sit in a chair and go, "Ooh, this is cool." I wanted my avatar to physically go out and enjoy what it's doing. So to me, I think it's a little different. So, but what do I know?
It's,
So,
well, you know a lot. If from your side, you know everything.
I no, I don't know everything. I only know
No,
99%.
you're saying you you experiencing everything from your side,
Yeah, that's true. So,
but it's different thing also what you're expressing
right.
from your side to the others, like to
Yeah,
us now. Everything has its own,
it's the thing.
plus and
And it's nice to see you're very chilled from your holiday. Like you're very
oh, I'm
mellow, very
very, yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know something, because I was outside the internet, and
Right,
I cannot work.
right,
Just now I've come back 2 days, and I cannot work. I cannot come back. I mean, in a way,
right,
but it's still warm, and
right.
it's. But tomorrow I think I will start, because I need to start. There are a lot of things to do. There are a lot of things coming around. I haven't worked on new works, but there are a
Very
lot of
cool.
works in my mind already.
So, do you have any shows or
Uh-huh.
anything coming up that you want to tell all your fans about?
Uh, well, not yet. Maybe next time. But there are some
Okay,
shows coming around,
very cool.
because they were anyway on the plans. But
Nice.
yeah, and yeah, everything is nice. But I'm still on the taste of the holidays, and
I know. I can tell you're very chill
yeah, yeah,
today.
yeah. But
So very
holidays
cool.
are very productive. Very
Right, right.
productive. I'm. It was my first time I was in a yacht. I've
Oh
never.
wow.
Yeah, I'm in Greece many years, and Greece is
Right.
a country full of
Yachts.
yeah, and the sea and everything, any kind of style of
Right,
this
right.
kind of vacations. But I just didn't happen to be on this, and it's a very good experience, because I learned a few things, that those yachts and everything is not just relax. There's a lot of work to do to
Yep.
learn about the how to manipulate those. There are a lot of stressful situations about how
Yep.
to put the yacht between the trees or rocks on
Right.
there, and not to touch other yachts, and what about the winds and everything.
Yeah, they
It was
usually
very,
frown. They usually frown if you ram your 100-meter yacht into another 100-meter yacht. They usually get really upset about that, because that's like a small house and damages. So, but I'm glad that you
yeah.
enjoyed. You had a nice holiday. This is a different. This is a chill, Adam. Now, next week or a couple weeks when we see you and do the next live show, you'll be up and running. And we have some of the hostesses, I guess, from some of our other shows who love you. The girls from Social Intercourse love you. They wanted to be on today, but they couldn't because they're doing something else. So they're
I'll
like,
do it
I want
next
to be on the
time.
next show. Yeah, they want to be on your next live show. So next live show may just be not David and I. You may have a few beautiful women on the show. Um,
Oh,
and that'll be good. I mean,
I love women.
We consider David a beautiful woman, but you may have real beautiful women other than
He's a
David.
beautiful man,
So
and you are two
he's,
beautiful men. But
he's a
beautiful men,
beautiful,
beautiful. Yeah, exactly.
there
It's
you go.
about
He's a
humans
beautiful
anyway.
something. Yes. So yeah.
Exactly.
So but it was good, my friend. I'm going to let you chill. Stay around till after the credits so we can figure out when your next show is. Everybody, thank you for watching. It was a pleasure for the people that are watching. We had a couple people come on live. Very nice. And then We'll rebroadcast this as we always do, and that'll be very cool. And we'll go from there. Adam, I will see you in a few. It's always good to see you, my friend. Everybody, don't forget to subscribe and like. We'll see you all soon. Cheers.